Ancient temples, with their towering structures and intricate carvings, have captivated our imaginations for centuries. These architectural marvels are not merely places of worship, but repositories of ancient wisdom and cultural beliefs. The precision and symbolism embedded in every stone, pillar, and chamber hint at a deep understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and spirituality. Amongst the many mysteries surrounding these ancient structures, the use of the 64-square grid, known as the mandala, stands out as a testament to the ingenuity and cosmological understanding of our ancestors. These grids, found in temples across cultures and continents, were not mere aesthetic choices. They served as a fundamental framework upon which the entire temple complex was designed and constructed. The 64-square mandala, in particular, holds a profound significance, representing the universe in its entirety and acting as a bridge between the earthly realm and the cosmos. Unlocking the secrets of this sacred geometry allows us to appreciate the depth of knowledge possessed by ancient architects and the intricate connection between spirituality, mathematics, and design in their creations. The concept of the mandala, meaning circle in Sanskrit, is central to many Eastern religions, including Hinduism and Buddhism. It represents the universe in its entirety, a cosmic diagram that depicts the relationship between the divine and the earthly. In temple architecture, the mandala transcends its symbolic representation and takes on a physical form as the 64-square grid. This grid serves as the fundamental plan upon which the entire temple complex is built, reflecting the cosmic order within the earthly realm. The number 64 itself holds significant meaning in various ancient cultures. In Hinduism, it is associated with the 64 arts, the 64 yoginis, and the 64 squares of the chessboard, which symbolizes the game of life. This number represents wholeness, completeness, and the multifaceted nature of existence. By incorporating the 64-square grid into their temple designs, ancient architects sought to create a microcosm of the universe, a sacred space where humans could connect with the divine and attain spiritual enlightenment. To fully comprehend the brilliance behind the 64-square mandala, we must delve into its mathematical framework. The grid is not simply a static pattern, it is a dynamic system based on precise measurements and proportions. The fundamental unit of this system is the module, a standard measurement derived from the dimensions of the temple's sanctum sanctorum, the most sacred space within the complex. This module acts as a building block, determining the size and placement of all other elements within the grid. Furthermore, the grid incorporates the concept of offsets, which are subtle variations in the placement of certain squares. These offsets, meticulously calculated using mathematical ratios and geometric principles, create a sense of visual harmony and balance. They also serve practical purposes, such as demarcating specific areas within the temple complex for different functions and regulating the flow of light and energy. The interplay of modules and offsets within the 64-square grid showcases the advanced mathematical knowledge of ancient architects and their ability to translate complex geometric principles into tangible architectural forms. Section 4. Symbolism in the structure. The sacred geometry. The symbolism embedded within the 64-square mandala extends beyond its representation of the cosmos. Each square within the grid holds its own significance, often associated with specific deities, celestial bodies, or elements of nature. The central square, for instance, typically represents Mount Meru, the cosmic mountain considered the center of the universe in Hindu mythology. The surrounding squares correspond to different realms of existence, creating a symbolic journey from the earthly to the divine as one moves towards the center of the mandala. Moreover, the geometric shapes and patterns formed by the grid lines hold deeper meanings. The square itself symbolizes stability, order, and the material world, while the circle, often superimposed on the grid, represents the celestial realm, infinity, and spiritual perfection. The intersection of these shapes within the mandala signifies the harmonious balance between the physical and spiritual dimensions of existence. Ancient architects skillfully wove these symbolic layers into the very fabric of the temple structure, creating a space imbued with profound meaning and spiritual resonance. Section 5. Functionality in the framework, proportion and aesthetics. While the symbolic and religious significance of the 64-square mandala is undeniable, its brilliance also lies in its practical functionality. The grid served as a practical tool for architects, allowing them to maintain proportion and symmetry throughout the temple complex. By adhering to the modular system, they could ensure that all elements, from the smallest carvings to the tallest towers, were in harmonious relation to one another. This not only created a sense of visual coherence, but also contributed to the structural integrity of the buildings. Furthermore, the grid played a crucial role in regulating the flow of light and air within the temple complex. The placement of courtyards, corridors, and openings was carefully calculated to maximize natural ventilation and create an ethereal atmosphere within the sacred spaces. The interplay of light and shadow cast by the gridded structure also added to the aesthetic appeal, creating a sense of depth and dynamism. This harmonious blend of functionality and aesthetics is a hallmark of ancient temple architecture, demonstrating the holistic approach to design that characterized these ancient civilizations. Section 6. The enduring legacy, ancient wisdom in modern design. The ingenuity of the 64-square mandala continues to inspire architects and designers even today. The principles of modularity, proportion, and harmony embedded within this ancient system remain relevant in contemporary architecture. Modern buildings, particularly those designed for spiritual or contemplative purposes, often incorporate elements of sacred geometry and grid systems to create a sense of balance and tranquility. The use of repeating patterns, symmetrical layouts, and carefully calculated proportions can be seen in various modern structures, from museums and libraries to places of worship and private residences. The enduring legacy of the 64-square mandala lies not just in its aesthetic appeal, but also in its ability to connect us to a deeper understanding of the universe and our place within it. By studying and adapting these ancient principles, we can create spaces that are not only visually stunning, but also imbued with a sense of harmony, balance, and spiritual significance. The wisdom embedded within ancient temple architecture continues to resonate with us today, reminding us of the power of design to elevate the human spirit and connect us to something greater than ourselves.